I think Kai's on next. You got a little bandsaw thing, don't you, Kai?
Yes, I have. So that's a totally different topic now, more technical. Barry showed his new bandsaw, I think 3 weeks ago or so, and I thought I could tell you something about bandsaw blade maintenance. So I'll try to do this now by sharing my screen. See, that should be the one.
There you go.
And start it. Okay.
Yeah, please feel free to ask questions. I guess John will see if you raise a hand, and then he can tell me and interrupt me.
Yeah, this raise hand thing's working pretty good.
Yeah, it's also good for me. I never want to interrupt people when they are talking, and I always fear when I start talking, someone else will be talking as well. So it's good to raise a hand, and then it's your turn. So I like that feature as well. Yeah. We had a discussion in our club why bandsaw blades do not cut straight, especially along the face. And I added any more because I kind of assume your bandsaw is set up properly, the guides are in the right position, and the blade tension is right and stuff like this. But then at a certain point, it doesn't want to cut straight anymore. And there might be several reasons for that. One is that the blade is dirty. Another thing might be that the teeth of the bandsaw blade are not set correctly anymore. And the reason for that can be that there was too much blade tension, or the blade is in the wrong position on the wheel, and then the teeth are pressed to one side and you don't have the left-right setting anymore. And the teeth can be blunt, or maybe teeth are damaged, or the blade itself is damaged by fractures in the blade. So that are several reasons, but for me, one of the most common reasons is that the blade is dirty or that the teeth are blunt. And I want to deal with these two now. So just go on. When I cut wet wood, it often happens that some of the sawdust and the sap collect at the tip of the teeth. And then it builds up, especially on the side where the blade is on the bandsaw wheel, because somehow the sawdust is pressed into the sap that adheres to the bandsaw blade. And if that happens, a blade cannot cut straight anymore, and it cannot transport the shavings out of the saw cut correctly anymore. So that won't work. So what you are after is a clean blade like this. And this one has got 4 teeth per inch, and my blades have 173 inches in length. So filing these by hand is quite a lot of work. Right, cleaning. I fold the blade and put it into water and soak it in water. And I don't know, do you call these plant coasters, which go under plants?
Yep.
Yeah. So I bought one of these big plant coasters, 22 inches in diameter. I fold the blade and then put it in and cover it totally with water. And if you leave it in there for 30 minutes, it won't start rusting or something like that. It's no problem. And sometimes 50 minutes will do. It depends on how much buildup you have on the plate and what kind of wood it is. And then I take a brass wire brush, and you have to make sure really to have brass bristles and not iron bristles that are brass coated. So it should be brass bristles, or maybe plastic bristles would work as well. And then I just scrub the dirt away from the blade by putting it on a piece of wood, and then I still have it folded and then kind of move it on a little bit, and I can always do this area and this area, then I move it on a little bit, and then I do the next bit that's on the base piece of wood. After cleaning one side, I kind of turn the plate in itself so that the inside of the plate is on the outside now, and fold it again, and then I can clean the other side. And after cleaning both sides, the plate is really clean. And what I like about this method is that you don't need oven cleaner or another kind of cleaner, just plain water, and sometimes soaking it in the plain water will have the desired effect. So, and
go on, let me see if there's any questions. Anybody got a question at this point? All right, carry on. Thank you.
Okay. Often after cleaning, the blades cut straight again and cut nicely again, so I don't have to sharpen them. It's just the cleaning that will help to have a proper working bandsaw blade again. Okay, so after this, I check the plate. This one, for example, had a fracture here, and you shouldn't use blades anymore that have fractures because they can break easily, and then that can be dangerous while working on the bandsaw for you. So sort these blades out. Okay, then the next step is setting the teeth. I hope you can see it a little bit in this photo that the teeth are set into alternate directions. This one is set down, this is up, down, up, down. So, and the reason why the teeth need setting is that the bandsaw blade has the same width all the way through. And by setting the teeth, the cut will get a little bit wider than the body of the bandsaw blade, and then the blade can pass easily through the wood, as you set other saws as well.
I got a question from Doug. Doug, you want to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned about throwing the blades away. Do you cut the blades up ever to use them for like stands for painting on? I've heard people doing that, you know, you cut the blade into length and then put the teeth up, so you've actually got pointies for setting your wood on for painting or varnishing.
I haven't tried that yet, but that's a good idea for recycling. I always like to keep stuff and not throw it away. Yeah, I'll try that.
Thank you, Doug.
So, okay, then the teeth need to be set. And I bought this little appliance on eBay. I think it's from the 60s, 70s sometime. It's got two little hammers here, and they will alternate one tooth with one hammer, and then the other hammer comes and sets the next tooth in the other direction. So you get alternate settings of the teeth, and this thing moves the blade forward. Here's a close-up. You can see the two hammers for setting the teeth, and that's the catch that moves the blade forward. And
so
here,
you just turn the crank and the blade goes through and gets set?
Yeah, yeah. And this is a hold down, because when the blade is moved forward, this vise opens a little bit, the blade is moved forward, and then it clamps the blade again. And so that the blade doesn't jump out of the vise, you need this hold down to keep the blade in position. And that's also the reason why you have to do the setting first before you do the sharpening, because this kind of pushes onto the tips of the blade, and that will make it blunt again. So first you have to do the setting. And I've got and that's the whole setup. So that's my bandsaw blade here, and that's the setting appliance. And I've got a film as well to show you how it works very quick.
I love it.
Okay, I thought the mechanical engineers like Ernie would like something like that. So
fantastic.
Okay, and that works pretty nicely. So the next step is sharpening the teeth, and I bought this also from the 50s or 60s, a filing machine made by a company called Vollmer. Here you can read it. And the file moves forward and backward, and then again, a catch pushes the blade forward and it's sharpened automatically. It takes about 7 minutes from the length of my blade for one round. Sometimes I have to do 2 or 3. So it's not a very efficient method if you consider what you have to pay for the hour nowadays. And that's why people buy blades that are hardened in the teeth and then they throw them away when they are blunt again. But I think that's nice, sustainable thing to sharpen your bandsaw blades, and it can also be only be done with blades that are not hardened in the teeth. So a blade that is hardened in the teeth cannot be filed. Yeah, Barry.
Yeah, when you showed the close-up of your blade, the teeth appeared to have no hook, whether they had a hook at the beginning or not. But I'm wondering, does this filing machine allow you to file with the hook on the tooth?
Yes. The shape of, oh, I have to go back, see whether I can do that. Whether I find it again. Oh, here. That's about the shape I do with the filing machine. And it has got a little angle here of about 10 degrees. And I read that this is okay for cutting, for resawing, if you want to have a straight cut along the fence. Is that what you call a hook here?
Yeah, like on a new blade with hook, the hook extends all the way down to where the radius of the gullet begins. And I was just wondering if your filing machine, if it can be set so that it comes in, on an angle to create the hook, or does the file drop straight down and therefore it would just like sharpen the point, but each sharpening would reduce the hook.
Yeah. So what you are after is a hook shape that is more like this, exaggerated. Is that right?
Yeah. Some of them, the tooth just to the right of where your pointer is, appears to have more hook than the one that you're pointing to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Might be. So as I said, the angle is about 10 degrees here. You could file more of a hook by kind of turning the file around a little bit more. I try to sharpen this part of the tooth and also this part in one go. So I try to set the files that it fits exactly into there, and then with one go, this is filed and this is filed as well. And
I actually do that with a Dremel by hand, just with the saw blade still on the saw, and it sort of works. I see a question from Doug.
Yeah, I have another question. You mentioned about the idea of not wanting to throw saw blades away, but do you have a specific easy way of recycling blades in Germany? Like, because the steel is obviously reusable. It's not something you have to throw in the garbage if you have a place that can recycle steel.
Yeah, we have a place in Germany where you can take steel and it will be recycled. But then again, this needs more energy than sharpening the blade again. So I think the sharpening process is the better way if it's possible.
I'll debate that one, because when you talk about the cost of blades and how inexpensive they are, the hours you've taken and the fun you've had and the equipment you've got, for me here, it might cost me several $1,000s, and I think I can get quite a few blades for that price.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, the filing machine was around $350, and the setting device was about $200 or something like this, secondhand. But if you buy it new, it's really expensive, of course.
I've got a bunch more questions, so let's deal with them if it's okay with you. Next is Jim Bowman.
You mentioned you can't file hardened steel. How do you know if the blade is hardened steel? Are most of them today that, or malleable, or whatever it is that you can sharpen them?
The blades they sell in Germany are often just hardened in the teeth, and then the color of the blade here and the color of the tooth are different. So that tends to be kind of a bit darker blue in color, and that's more shiny. And then you can see that this blade has been hardened in the teeth. They also sell them as blades hardened in the teeth, and then if you buy them, you know what you get.
Ernie, question?
No, a comment is here is a hook tooth blade. Can everybody see that?
I was going to leave the share. I'm going to leave the share on Kai. He's got more slides, I think.
All right.
I'll come back to you when we go back to full gallery view.
All right.
Yeah.
Pete?
Okay. And Mike?
Kai, how many sharpenings do you typically get out of one of your blades?
Difficult to say. Maybe 20. It depends whether the blade breaks before it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Theoretically, I could kind of sharpen it until it is only a quarter of an inch or something like that wide, but often I get little cracks here. It doesn't happen that often anymore because now I know how to tension the blade in my my bandsaw, and I'm more careful, and the blades last longer. Also, I learned a little bit more about the filing process. The filing machine that I have is quite old, and the setting is quite difficult to get it right. But now I think I know how to do it, and then I've got 10 blades with the same hook design or same tooth design. And then I wait until blade 9 is blunt, and then I start sharpening again, and then I sharpen a lot of blades at the same time. So that's worth the setup time for the machine, because I have to clear that away or put that away. My workshop isn't big enough to keep it in position or on the workbench all the time. So I put that away again, and then it takes some time to set everything up. And then once I'm at it, I do as many blades as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Questions and comments?
Ernie's hand is still raised, but that is from earlier on.
Have you got more slides to show?
Yes, I've got a little film of the filing machine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It needs a lot of oil and grease.
I suspect, Kai, that your interest in this is as much the fascination with the gizmos as anything else.
Yeah, it is. It is. So it's the fun of sharpening. It's not only the fun of sawing. But I got a lot of wood at the moment, apple, pear, yew, and other hardwoods. So quite a lot, and I have to start sawing them soon, otherwise they will get cracks during the summer. So that's why I sharpened all my saw blades now. And I also built a new saw bench for my chainsaw, which I can show at some point if you like. After watching a demo by David Ellsworth where he used that, a similar saw bench.
Very, very cool.
But of course, you have it has to be part of the fun to do something like this, and time doesn't matter that much.
How wide a blade can you sharpen on this device?
This blade is about 1 inch wide, and I don't sharpen my very fine blades. So this is about 3.5 teeth per inch.
the width of the teeth. So sharpening finer plates with this machine should be possible, but as it is quite old, I'm happy it does that. And the wide blades work fine for me, even if I have to cut big discs or something in wet wood. It's okay. If as straight cuts are easier with wide blades, I cut off the corners first of my plank, and then a little bit more. Always straight cuts, and then the end cut is to make it round. So it takes a little bit longer with a wide blade, but these blades I can sharpen myself, and that's why I like them. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I stop sharing.
Let's end the share. And I'm back to gallery view, I think. Everybody see the gallery view?
Yeah.
I just want to say that Barry is going to show a video on Tuesday at the Lancaster Club meeting next week on bandsaw setup for resawing. And that's a video that he and I are making together. He's got some very good information. I don't think we'll show the clip that I have from that today because I got more people who want to just hold work up and we got only 10 minutes left. I see Bob Mather has his hand up. Question, Bob?
Yeah, I just want to say, Kai, you did a terrific job. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's just you gave the same demonstration at one of your Wednesday meetings just recently. And my question, it was also in English when you did it for your friends there in Germany. Did you have problems with that? I don't get much out of when I try to listen to you speak, but the demos, I try to get as much as I can out of.
Actually, I did the presentation for the morning coffee hour. And then I thought, okay, I can show it at one of our meetings as well. And I wanted to translate it into German or use German titles. But then in the end, I didn't have the time to do it. So I just stayed with the English presentation and made my comments in German. So it was no problem to understand that for our club members.
Well, great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kai. I'm going to go now to people who want to hold up work. I know that Roy has got something he's dying to show, and I think Jeff Carroll, are you dying to show something today as well?
Just one thing, John. Ernie wanted to show the hook.
Oh yeah.
Design.
Before we go to Roy, Ernie's got a saw blade he wants to hold up. Let me find his screen. I've lost him. Here he is. I'm going to spotlight you, Ernie, if you want to hold up that saw blade.
Sure. Here's a hook tooth blade.
Hold it a little lower, front of your nose. That's it. Now we can see it. Okay.
Okay. So the design of the hook is it's a bit round, and
there's a standard blade.
Yeah, I see the difference.
Yeah. Okay. With the hook tooth, it's more round. I can't file this this round shape in the bottom because my file is straight there. It's a triangular file, so I only can file with this triangular file.
You could put a chainsaw file in there, could you not?
I could try, yeah. I think most of the blades today are not filed anyway. They use grindstones to grind the teeth and not to file them anymore. And that's the reason I think why they can do other shapes than I can do.
Okay.
But, yeah.